Hey guys, my name's Gloria and welcome back to my channel. Please excuse the absolute state of my wig. I wore it to a competition, a horror competition, and I didn't brush it afterwards, and I currently don't have a brush, so please excuse my appearance. Today I want to do a book haul of a load of books that I ordered for my birthday. It was my birthday a couple weeks ago. My in-laws got me a very generous Amazon gift voucher, which has caused a lot of problems. So I ordered, before I show the books I did get, I've been on to Amazon all day long trying to get this sorted because someone was supposed to ring me about 4 hours ago and they just never did. I've talked to about 6 different Amazon people today trying to get things sorted. Their web chat thing is just the worst, but I ordered a load of books on this gift voucher. I paid with the gift voucher. There was some issue afterwards because I was sending it to the wrong address, but then it was fine. It was sending it to my work address. I got these books from my work address, but after that they just took over 100 quid out of my bank account, and I don't know why. And they keep telling me that they didn't, and they keep telling me that, oh, that's a refund for a different thing. The money's not really gone. It'll be back in a couple of days. Last week they said it's just a pending thing, we're not actually going to take it, and then 2 days later they did take it, and now my account is on overdraft because they've taken over €100 off me. They keep saying it's my bank's fault. My bank's like, why the hell would we just give your money to Amazon? Which is fair. And everyone, I keep talking to different people. They just, on their web chat, like, I'll be talking to one person, I'll tell them the whole story, and then that person will just go away, and someone else will come in, and I have to wait 25 minutes for them to read our entire interactions, for them to just say the exact same things to me. So they're all very polite, but they're not helping at all, and I want my 100 quid back. Like, I used a gift card so that I didn't have to use my 100 quid, and then I just lost 100 quid anyway. But rant over. I don't like to be a huge complaining person, and honestly if it was like a tenner I wouldn't even have probably asked them for it. I wouldn't go through all this, but it's like, it's 100 quid and I'm in an okay situation right now, but you know, if this had happened a few years ago, this would be the difference between me not eating for like 2 weeks or more. So it matters. And also, Bezos doesn't need any more money. Come on, he doesn't need it. Oh. I got a lot of books. This isn't actually all of the books. They came in different groupings. So I think I'm still gonna get 2 tomorrow, which even the people at Amazon were surprised that I was still getting those books for some reason. Anyway, so one of the books that I got, the first one, I did actually film this before and the files got corrupted, so you would have seen my reaction to seeing all these books for the first time, but now you just have to deal with featureless, no emotion me, so the usual me, let's be fair. So the first book that I just wanted more Shirley Jackson in my life. The books mentioned on here, I have We've Always Lived in the Castle, The Road Through the Wall. So I got, my phone's on loud because I'm waiting for Amazon bastards to call me. So I got the Hangsaman, yeah, this title confuses me. Hangsaman by Shirley Jackson. You can always have more Shirley Jackson in your life. I think there's an Elizabeth Moss led biopic about Shirley Jackson, either out now or coming out, and I'm really excited to see that. I think she's a good actor. Bit of a Scientologist apparently, but you know, let's focus on the acting. I'm just going to read the back of this. Natalie Waite, daughter of a mediocre writer and a neurotic housewife, is increasingly unsure of her place in the world. In the midst of adolescence, she senses a creeping darkness in her life, which will spread among nightmarish parties, poisonous college cliques, and the manipulations of the intellectual men who surround her, as her identity gradually crumbles. Inspired by the unsolved disappearance of a female college student near Shirley Jackson's home, Hangsaman is a story of lurking disquiet and haunting disorientation. So this is sort of based on a real person, so that should be rather interesting. You'll notice, I thought, by the way, I paid like 30 quid for this one alone. I thought I was getting it brand new. It's clearly not brand new, it's secondhand. The person who sent me this also originally sent me an email saying, hey, I heard you wanted a change of address, so I've totally changed the address. We're going to send it to your apartment now. And I was like, cool. And then it showed up at my work address anyway, so it's just it's a whole mess. Just physical bookstores are easier to deal with, I think. But it's really yellow here, but like super white. It's like, has no one ever read this book before? Mm-hmm. But Shirley Jackson, you gotta love. I had to get more Shirley Jackson for my birthday. The rest of these books were all recommended by Twitter. I asked on Twitter, I said, I have a voucher. Does anyone have any recommendations? And I pretty much bought all of the ones that people recommended. I think I did also, a few of them were ebooks, so a few of them aren't here, but these are all the physical books that people recommended to me. They've almost all got red covers or red spines. They're all red and they're all kind of matching, so there's a lot of red in this. That's why when I originally filmed this I didn't have any wig on because I didn't know they were red, but I decided to go with red today because red books, you know. Coordination with your books is important. So the first couple, these are all completely new writers for me. I haven't read any of these people. I think there's 4 guys and 4 gals, I think. So the first one is The Haunting of Henderson Close by Katherine Cavendish. I like the cover of this. It's sort of got a matte finish on it. In 1891, Edinburgh's Henderson Close is a seething mass of crime. Miss Carmichael takes food and clothing to families living in the slums in Old Town and falls victim to a gang of vicious thugs who beat her to death. Gang member Donald Bain escapes and is possessed by an entity the locals call the Isle of Dell. In the present day, Henderson Close is a major tourist attraction. Tour guides Hannah and George lead their visitors along its eerie twists and turns, but when renovations begin to extend the location, the Isle of Dell is released from its devil's trap. One of the guys goes missing, and as Hannah and George soon discover, this is no simple disappearance. Evil is all around them, and the key to its unravelling lies with Miss Carmichael's killer. So that one I'm definitely interested in. Katherine Cavendish is a name I haven't heard before. Most of these books as well, for some reason, deal with haunted house or some sort of a dwelling. Not on purpose at all, I bought the ones that people recommended to me. I've heard Jonathan Jan's name a lot, mainly on Twitter. I've seen that picture, I think is his on Twitter. I've seen that quite a lot, but I haven't read any of his stuff. I'm liking the Flame Tree Press covers on these books, they're very nice. So this one is called The Sorrows. It's got a cool Dave Grohl looking devil in the front. That's kind of cool. Ben Shadeland and Eddie Blaze are the hottest young music composers. Fresh off an Oscar nomination, they've just been chosen to score a big budget horror movie. But Ben, the creative half of the duo, hasn't written a note since his wife divorced him and got custody of their 3-year-old son. Eddie hears about an opportunity that he's sure will be the inspiration Ben needs. The Sorrows is an island with a castle that has been uninhabited since a series of gruesome murders in 1925. Perfect. Its owner is willing to let the young composers stay for a month. Ben and Eddie arrive, but what they find is more horrific than any movie. Something is waiting for them in the castle, a malevolent being that has been trapped for nearly a century, and now he's ready to feed. So yeah, another haunted area, another haunted dwelling. The next book, another good Robin book, is Anya Alborn. Could be fucking that up, probably am. The Bird Eater. I think this was on my wish list for ages because I'd heard her name and a lot of people were talking about her, and I thought, why not pick up some of her stuff? So this one looks rather interesting. Aaron Holbrook was just a kid when his aunt, the only mother he ever knew, died mysteriously in their rural Arkansas, not Arkansas, home. Arkansas just sounds better. Thrust into foster care, he left Arkansas with the promise to never return. But 20 years later, the death of his young son drives Aaron home again in a last-ditch effort to get sober and salvage a marriage that's falling apart. But something far more powerful than memory and grief lurks in the dusty corners of Holbrook House. Something dark, something sinister. Soon after his arrival, Aaron realises there is no peace to be found in the place the townsfolk call the Devil's Den. Wouldn't assume there was. Someone is leaving dead birds piled inside the house, and Aaron is tormented by a strange boy that refuses to leave him alone. Plagued by nightmares and violent daydreams, he fears the worst. Are grief and addiction driving him mad? Or has the evil force that destroyed his family finally spied its chance to claim his soul? So yes, I quite like this cover as well. It's creepy. Next up out of the box that I got is The Grip of It by Jack Jemk. I think that's how you pronounce it, first of all. I also think that this is written by a woman. She teaches writing in Chicago. Yes. So Jack Jemk is a woman. She's one of the women on the list. I like this cover. It's simple. It's sort of childlike with the writing and everything. This is basically what my handwriting looks like to normal people as well, so I feel quite at home here. This one is also about a creepy dwelling. A chilling literary horror novel. That's another thing I really want to get into, is more literary horror books. Most of the creative writing that I've done, most of the classes that I've taken have been to do with literary horror or literary writing, and I think it's sort of where I want to take my writing, is sort of more literary horror, or to have elements in there at least, so I want to read more of those. A chilling literary horror novel, Jack Jemk's The Grip of It tells the story of Julie and James, a young couple haunted by their new home. The move, prompted by James' penchant for gambling, his inability to keep his impulses in check, is quick and seamless. Both Julie and James are happy to leave behind their usual haunts and start afresh, but the house, which sits between lake and forest, has plans for the unsuspecting couple. The architecture becomes unrecognisable, decaying before their eyes. Stains contract and expand, mapping themselves onto Julie's body in the form of bruises. Mold taints the water that James pours from the sink. As the couple search for the source of their mutual torment, they become mired in the history of their peculiar neighbours and the mysterious previous residents of the house. Written in eerie, powerful prose, The Grip of It is an enthralling and psychologically intense novel that deals in questions of home, how we make it, and how it in turn makes us, inhabiting the bodies and the relationships we cherish. So that is, I'm quite excited to read that one. There was a book, I recently read Paperbacks from Hell, the non-fiction book, and there is a book mentioned in it that sort of reminds me of this. Burnt Offerings by Robert Marasco is also about a couple who move into a house, and the house sort of haunts them, so I'm going to read that at some point. This is a good starter into something like that. I'm excited about that one. This next one, the cover kind of looks like a graphic novel, but it's not. This was also recommended on Twitter. It's Glenn Rolfe. Haven't read any of his before. The Haunted Halls, and it is about the Britain Inn, another haunted place, located outside of the small main city of Hollis Oaks, is home to something special. An icy presence has made its way from a dark past to the present day. Cold spots, shadows and whispers permeate the halls, and guests are beginning to change. For two front desk employees, Rhiannon and Jeff, the dark rumours are about to come to light. They call upon Lee Bull, the urban shaman, and his connection with the spirit world to dig up the truth. Will they be able to stand against his malevolent force, or will they come face to face with something beyond even your most frightful nightmares? Welcome to the Britain Inn. The Ice Queen has arrived. more of a same kind of hue, you know, same kind of redness to it. The next one, I've been seeing a lot of people talking about this on BookTube and Twitter and everywhere else, and I had to get it. Again, have not read Andrew Cole before. This book is called Remains, and I think it's a lot to do with grief and the horror of grief. I said that like that was an interesting thought I just had, and the biggest line in this is, grief is a black house. So yes, Laura, it is about grief, dingus. Grief is a black house. How far would you go? What horrors would you endure if it meant you might see the son you thought you'd lost forever? Driven to a breakdown by the brutal murder of her young son, Lucy Campbell had locked herself away, fallen deep inside herself, become a ghost, haunting room 23B of the William Tooke Psychiatric Hospital. There she'd remained until the whispering pulled her back, until she found herself once more sitting in her car, calling to the son she had lost, staring into the black panes of the now abandoned house where Alex had died. Tonight, someone is watching her back. Oh, and not in a good way. So yeah, that one again, I mean, I'm not mad in any way, because one of my favourite things is haunted houses, so I can't be mad at any of this. I still have 2 on the way tomorrow. One is Horror Store, and the other is a different one that I can't remember, but I'll put it up if I can find it. So I went all out, and I treated myself for my birthday, and thank you to my in-laws for that, and thank you Amazon, because you're going to give me my money back. I'm going to forget this ever happened. Jeff Bezos can suck a dick. So yeah, I will most likely be putting up reviews of all these books once I read all of these books, and I shall give my thoughts on those. Probably be wearing a different wig in that one as well. So thank you for watching. If you like what I'm doing here, you can like and subscribe down below and help me reach my 200 goal of this year. I've come quite a way since January, so thank you for anyone who has already subscribed. Really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. That was way too long, wasn't it?